Live from Overton Stadium in Jackson, Tennessee, on the campus of University School of Jackson. It is Bruin baseball, and on this beautiful Monday afternoon, it is the USJ Bruins taking on Tipton Rosemark Academy. And this is going to be one that we hope will start at 5 o'clock, but we're not sure because so far we have not seen an appearance by the umpires yet, and that is always something that can make a big difference as to when you get started. We had one in softball last week that we had about an hour's delay because of confusion over the officials that were arriving. So we're going to do our best to at least keep you up to date and let you know when the teams have finished their warm-ups on the field. Let me give you the starting lineups for Tipton Rosemark. They'll be in to hit first. The right fielder, Trey Scott, is the leadoff hitter, and he'll be followed in the number 2 spot by Will Hughes, the shortstop. In center field and batting third is Eli Ramsey. Hitting in the cleanup spot is Cade Allen, the catcher. The starting pitcher will be Eli West, and he will hit 5th. Batting 6th, the designated hitter, Aiden Petrowski. Sam Cannon will be on first base, and he is batting 7th. Batting 8th, the second baseman, Jordan, the $1 Million Man, DiBiase. And then the third baseman, Ellis Fullen, is batting 9th. And then not in the lineup, and the officials are showing up right here, so we may be pretty close to getting started on time. Aiden Redmond is the left fielder. He will not be in the hitting lineup, but he will be in the field. For the Bruins, not a great deal of change from last week's lineup. In left field and leading off will be Kurt Sammons, and the catcher, Max Kilburn, batting second. Nash Kilburn, the right fielder, will be hitting third. Hondo Wyatt Scott, the center fielder, will be in cleanup. Batting 5th at shortstop is Clinton Harden. Jackson Sills, the designated hitter, will be batting 6th. In the 7th spot is the first baseman, Maddox Rabin. Batting 8th, second base, Brooks Jones. And batting 9th, the third baseman, Logan Foster. And pitching for the Bruins this afternoon, but not in the hitting lineup, is Chase Gardner. So that's how it all stacks up as far as the lineups for these two teams, as we are ever near getting close to playoff time, and that'll be starting at some point in the next 10 days. So we are anxiously awaiting what that's going to mean for all of the teams in our circuit. But today, it's going to be a battle between these two private schools that have always brought a lot to the table when it is here on the field. And of course, Danny Giles is hoping that his team will begin to gel this afternoon and be able to put some runs in consecutive order. And then again, on the other side of the coin, the same thing is true for Tipton Rosemark. So we've got a rather light crowd this afternoon because I think a lot of people were expecting this to be a 6 o'clock start. And then earlier today, we got the word that there would not be a junior varsity game, so that they would play this one at 5. So it's more than likely we will get this in before the scheduled 7:39 sunset tonight. And so maybe we will be able to see this zip right along. So we have got about 5 minutes before the scheduled first pitch. So let's go visit with some of our fine sponsors that bring you Bruin baseball, and then we will be here to start this afternoon's game between the Bruins and Tipton Rosemark.
Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here.
Mention Ball Game Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
Fleet Feet, your locally owned source for the best shoes for school, work, running, and everyday comfort. They offer a 3D scan of your feet and professional fitting. Fleet Feet sells the top-selling brands Hoka, On Cloud, and Brooks. To add comfort to your spikes or other performance shoes, let Fleet Feet fit you for a pair of arch support inserts. Get the quality you want and the service you deserve at Fleet Feet in Jackson on Oilwell Road beside Walgreens.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise, and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
It is a gorgeous day at Overton Stadium, but it is a chilly one. We are looking at 62 degrees here to start this afternoon's game here at the 5 o'clock hour, but we also have a northeast wind that is blowing in from out of the outfield, and that one is going at about 14 miles an hour in gusts. So that one might make some fly balls stay up a little bit. But got a wind chill that's about 57 degrees this afternoon. So we got a lot more long sleeves than we had last week when we got up to nearly 86 one day. And Chase Gardner taking his warm-up tosses, and we're about set to go with Trey Scott, the right fielder, set to jump in for the Rebels and lead this one off. It has been a really fast-moving season. I have to tell you, this is one that it seems like just yesterday that we were starting off in March and bringing you the first of the Bruin baseball games this season, and then here we go. We are getting close to playoff time. It really does zip by in the spring. And, of course, all of these young people have academics to worry about as well as being here on the field, but they managed to balance it quite well. And so Chase Gardner getting ready for his first pitch this afternoon, and we are underway. And that one's in there for strike one, hit the inside corner. Tell you about another event that you'll be able to see on the USJ website tonight. And that one is tap foul down it finally goes down the left field line out of range of Logan Foster. Tonight at 7 o'clock, the musical that is being done here for USJ, it is going to be underway. It's a Pops concert, and so if you want to watch that after this game is over, tune in to that, and you'll be able to see it. And you can see it in its entirety after it's over with. That one got away. It's a ball and 2 strikes. There's always some great music, theater, arts of any kind that's going on here at the University School of Jackson. So Gardner with a 1-2 pitch. And that change was up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They're playing him in mid-range in the outfield. And he went around, or did he? No, they say he held up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He almost committed himself. So he's gone full, and here comes the payoff pitch. And that was just inside for ball 4. So Scott goes down to first with a walk. And here comes the shortstop, Will Hughes. Now, Scott is a leadoff hitter. He is always a threat to go, and he's taking a fair lead down there at first before the first pitch is even thrown to Hughes. And here is the pitch, and that one's high and inside. Ball and no strikes. After getting out ahead of Scott early, Gardner has had some woes trying to reach the plate. Here's the 1-0. Right down in there for strike 1 call. Ball and a strike. I look around me and I see a lot of jackets and a few hoodies out here. There's a few folks that are braving it in short sleeves. Good luck to them because it is going to get cooler as the afternoon progresses. And that one is a hard hit foul down the left field line. And it's, once again, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We expect by the time this one is over with that we're going to be back down probably around 57, 58 degrees in real air temperature. And here goes the 1-2 from the right-hander. And just missed it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hughes is hanging tough with him right here, and Scott may be moving on this pitch. Here's the wind and the pitch. And that is a high fly foul. Nash Kilburn gave it a good chase, but that was just out of his range as fast as he is. So it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hughes trying to see if he can get Scott around to second. And he's waiting on his sign, and he now gets what he wants. And the stretch and the pitch. And the runner going, and that one's fouled off. So we are still at 2-2. We'll rewind the tape once again. Got 1 man on with a walk. And Gardner getting set to deliver. Changeup is high. 3 balls and 2 strikes once again. Eli Ramsey, the center fielder, will be next. And here's the wind. The runner's going to be moving. And there's a drive way back into left field. That ball is out of here for a home run. He got all of it and did it without the benefit of a strong wind going in that direction. So Hughes with a 2-run homer to give Tipton Rosemark a 2-0 lead. For a minute, it looked like that may hang up at the wall, but instead it managed just to get over it. And so, 2-run homer for Will Hughes. That clears the bases for Eli Ramsey, the center fielder. Hughes just waited on the pitch he wanted and got all of it. Ramsey's a left-hander going against the right-handed pitching of Gardner. And he gets a strike. No balls and 1 strike. So it's 2 runs on 1 hit for TRA. The wind and the pitch. Hey, he got around on that one. No balls and 2 strikes. And for Gardner, the job is just to shake off that long ball and just pitch to your hitters and try to start a new run of getting them out. And the pitch just low into the dirt, a ball and 2 strikes. Cade Allen, the catcher, will be next, followed by the pitcher, Eli West. And Gardner gets his sign and delivers. And that one's low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's been getting ahead of the hitters early and then gets behind in the count, and that's what's given him trouble. And here comes the 2-2. And that's a high fly ball. Center fielder is going to have to move back and could not catch up to it, so that's going to go for extra bases, and he is standing up with a double. I think that one really fooled Hondo Scott out in the outfield because it looked like it was going to be more of a lazy fly ball, and then it started going to his right, and he just could not catch up to it. So a stand-up double brings up Allen, the catcher. And still nobody out. 2 runs, 2 hits for TRA, and Allen, the cleanup hitter. And Gardner pitches. Right down in there for strike 1 call. And Gardner gets his sign. And the pitch. That one's got him with a sinker there, and it is no balls and 2 strikes. And this is the one that he wants to finally see if he can get somebody swinging or called out on strikes. Be a boost to the confidence of Gardner after the way this one has started. The wind. Runner's got a lead at second. And the pitch. That one in the dirt, and he's going to take off, and they will not throw. So Ramsey with a steal of third, and on a 1-2 situation, he's only 90 feet away. So the inning has started strong for the Rebels. And here's the wind and the pitch. And that's low, but they tell him to get back down to third. It didn't get away far enough. Allen signaling to him. So we're at 2-2. And shortstop Clennon Harden goes back into position. They're trying to play for a play at the plate, and it's outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's been 0-2 or 1-2 on every hitter so far, but has not been able to keep them off the base paths. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, runner on third in the pitch. And he went around on that one for strike 3. First strikeout for Chase Gardner. That's got to be a jump start to his confidence. And here comes Eli West, the pitcher, who has already been staked to a 2-0 lead and hasn't even had to toss one. He'll be followed by the designated hitter, Aiden Petrowski. So 1 out and a runner on third. And the pitch. And he got another sinker on him. No balls and a strike. And here's the wind and the 0-1. Got it in there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And this would be a big one if he could get him to go around. And here's the 0-2. And that one's fouled off behind us. Haven't seen what kind of pitcher West is yet. He'll be up in the bottom half of the inning. And here goes the wind and the pitch. And got him low. He's got to go to first with it, and does. And good, smart move on the part of Gardner to cover the plate in case the runner had decided to go. But that is the second strikeout. The putout is catcher to first baseman. So, after giving up 3 hits, giving up a walk in 2 hits, it's 2 straight strikeouts for Chase Gardner. And this is Aiden Petrowski, the designated hitter. And that's in there for a strike. 0-1. And this would actually be a terrific job of out of the jam pitching if he is able to get him without this runner on third scoring. And that one is a high foul that will be out of play. Just a little bit beyond the grill. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And you've still got Eli Ramsey lurking there at third. He gets his sign, and Gardner delivers the 0-2 and struck him out. So he managed to get all 3 of the hitters in the 4, 5, 6 slots down swinging. So the Rebels, based on the home run by Will Hughes, had 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors. They also had a walk, and they had 1 man left on base. So we've completed a half inning of play. The score, Tipton Rosemark 2 and USJ just now coming into bat.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating, 668-3339, for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
Bob Arrington and his fine staff at Arrington Funeral Directors, some of my favorite people, some of the kindest folks. When there is a loss in a family, and you just can't find anybody any better and in what they do any more professional. And we appreciate them supporting Bruin baseball. So the wind-up tosses have been finished by Eli West. He's a big, tall drink of water and looks to have a pretty good fastball, and he will face immediately Kurt Salmons, the left fielder, and it'll be Curtin the Kilburns. And let's see if Kurt can get something started here in the bottom half of the first. And the pitch, fastball that is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Enfield playing back. And that one's a roller to the second baseman. He fires on to first and gets Kurt by about a step and a half for out number 1. And that will bring up the catcher, Max Kilburn. I met Max and Nash's parents last week here in the parking lot, just delightful folks, and I found out that they have a lot of their family members who have been watching the streaming telecast here, and we're just glad to have you all. And we enjoy being able to tell you about the exploits and adventures of Max and Nash. That one was outside, a ball and no strikes. The wind and the fastball, and that one's inside for ball 2. Typically, Max and Nash are going to do everything possible to get on, and they've been very successful doing that one, and that is a 2-hopper to the shortstop. He's going to have to fire fast. Got him by a step. And that will bring up the freshman, Nash Kilburn, the right fielder. And I'll tell you, Nash is one of these that he can beat out most of his infield hits unless it's sharply right at one of the infielders. But it is 2 up, 2 down for the Bruins in the bottom half of the first. And here's the pitch. And that one is outside for a ball. As we say, West has a really good fastball. And the stretch and the pitch. And that one's in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nash Kilburn. If he gets on, then it'll be Hondo Scott, the center fielder. And that one is in there again, found the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 out, nobody on for the Bruins in the bottom half of the first. The wind and the pitch. That's up high, ball and 2 balls, 2 strikes. In case you just joined us, Tipton Rosemark got its 2 runs on a home run by Will Hughes after a walk to Trey Scott in the top half of the first inning. And here's the pitch. And got him, just tapped it foul. The umpire goes out to swap balls again. And he's following over to the mound, and I'm not sure what that conversation's all about. So Nash has run it to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 down here in the bottom half of the first. Enfield again playing at normal depth. And the pitch. That's low, ball 3. So we've gone full to Nash Kilburn at 3-2. Nash, a very patient hitter. And here comes the payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Nash gets on with a base on balls, which is something that is a trademark of his. And here comes Hondo Wyatt Scott, the center fielder. And let's see if Nash is always a threat to steal. I don't think he'd do it on the first pitch. And here he goes. And did he go around on that one? They say no, 1 ball and no strikes. Held up before he committed himself. If he gets on, Clennon Harden, the shortstop, would be next. And here's the wind and the pitch. And that hit the outside corner for strike 1. A ball and a strike with 2 down. Nash gets a modest lead down at first. West pitches, and that's a high fly ball floating into right center field, and the right fielder comes down with it. Trey Scott for out number 3. So for the Bruins, it is no runs, no hits. They did get a walk, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So at the end of an inning, Tipton Rosemark 2, USJ nothing.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
And we go to the top half of the second inning, and Chase Gardner will face the bottom of the order. First baseman Sam Cannon, second baseman Jordan DiBiase, and third baseman Ellis Fullen. And after giving up the 2 runs to start the game, Chase settled down, and he struck out 3 in a row to end the inning in the first. And here goes Cannon. He's got a lot of power. And Gardner delivers. And that one's high for a ball. We mentioned he stayed ahead of most of the hitters in that first inning. And that one's a high fly ball that looks like it is going to float out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shadows are not yet hitting the infield, so it's not much of a factor yet, and probably won't be until we get beyond the 6 o'clock hour. And that one is a floater that is just a bit high for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And Gardner delivers the 2-1. And hard hit ball, but that is foul going down the left field line. So we've evened it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Gardner wants to keep his string going that he had at the end of the first inning. And the pitch. And he does. But they fouled it off. That one just fouled outside the batter's box, so it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. He had a good sinker there. The wind and the pitch. And got him. That is his 4th straight strikeout. So he's finding his groove now, and that brings up the $1 million man, Jordan DiBiase, the second baseman. We are told that he is not related to Ted DiBiase, the legendary $1 million man. Maybe he's the $500,000 man. And here comes the pitch from Gardner. And he was taking that pitch all the way. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's working a lot faster now, and he, as we say, he's been in that groove with 4 consecutive strikeouts. And the pitch. There's that curveball that gets in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And he's been throttling this lineup after he got by the first 3 hitters in the first inning. And there you go. And that one is going to be a roller to the second baseman. Fires on to Maddox Rabin. He stays on top of the bag for out number 3. Out number 2. And that brings up Ellis Fullen, the third baseman.
Now batting, number 17, the third baseman,
If he gets on, Trey Scott, the right fielder, would be back up. We go back to the top of the order once again. And there's the pitch, and that one is fouled out of play. That was almost all the way over there to the soccer field. No balls and a strike, 2 outs for the Rebels here in the top half of the second inning. And there's just hardly a cloud anywhere. If there is, it's just a little hazy one in the lower part of the sky. And that's going to go off the knee, and they're not going to be able to get him. That was one where Chase released it, and as he was looking away, he had finished his delivery, and it went off of his thigh, almost his knee, and so it's an infield hit. Smart move is to not try to go after it and try to make a rush throw to first. And so you've got Fullen down at first base, and Trey Scott, who walked his first time up and scored on the home run. And that one is inside and in the dirt. Ball and no strikes. Scott would be followed by the long ball hitter, Will Hughes. Fullen is getting a little bit of a lead down there at first. And that's in there for strike one. Ball and a strike. He gets his sign and the pitch, and the runner's going, and that's fouled off. Runner was already about halfway down to second when the ball was hit. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. He trots back down to first. And I would not be surprised if Fullen will be moving with this pitch as well. And Gardner delivers. Right down in there for strike 3. That is the 5th strikeout for Chase Gardner. So it was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So we have completed an inning and a half, and it is still Tipton Rosemark 2, USJ nothing.
Football looks fun. I bet I would have been great at it. The first football playing Deer, they would have made a movie about me and everything. Probably get Kurt Russell to play me. But alas, me and my dreams run right over again.
For fast, reliable collision repair, trust the experts at Mitchell's Body Shop. And get back out there.
We offer live webcasting for families. It kind of came out of when so many warriors were going overseas to war. We have learned to offer families more choices, that we want to serve our families well and serve our families better.
Well, let's see if the Bruins can get some guys on here in the bottom half of the second. They've had 1 man base so far when Nash Kilburn reached on a walk. Clennon Harden, the shortstop, will stand in. He'll be followed by the designated hitter, Jackson Sills, and the first baseman, Maddox Rabin. Clennon can hit to all fields. They're giving him a big gap up the middle, and that is a high fly out of play. No balls and a strike. That's been a nasty job of pitching. 5 strikeouts already in 2 innings for Chase Gardner, and he is hit. So that will send Clennon down to first as a hit batsman, and here comes Jackson Sills, the designated hitter. You'll take him any way you can get him. That one just got away from West. Now they're going to play at double play depth. You've got both the second baseman and shortstop inching a little closer to second than usual. He's got a gap between the first and second baseman to right field, and that one's outside and low for a ball. Sills also has a lot of power, and he particularly is a good pull hitter to left field. And the pitch inside, ball 2. And Maddox Rabin is on deck, and he would be followed by Brooks Jones. The wind and the pitch. That's in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Bruins have been taking a lot of pitches so far in these first 2 innings. But a runner on and nobody out. And they go to first, and back in there safely is Harden. What they'd like to be able to do is to wear out West's arm a little bit and have him throw a lot of pitches in the early innings. And that one is that's a bouncer to the pitcher. He fires on to first, but the runner moves to second. That's one of those that you wish you could count that as a sacrifice, but it just doesn't work that way because he didn't show bunt. But you got the same result. He did move the runner down to second, so we got 1 out and a runner in scoring position. And Maddox Rabin, the first baseman, steps in. And if Maddox could pump one over the infield, and we'd have a 2-1 game, and that one is a little bit high for a ball. Maddox has been a clutch hitter so far this season. He's particularly been a good 2-out hitter. And not really paying a lot of attention to the runner on second right now. Now he does. He finally looks at him, and then the pitch, and that one's foul back to the screen. Ball and a strike to Maddox Rabin. And Brooks Jones will be next. And Maddox awaits the 1-1. Here it is. Got it in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. TRA, 2 runs on 3 hits. USJ has not had a hit, but they've had base runners in each of the first 2 innings. And Maddox facing a 1-2 count. And West delivers. A little bit low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And let's see, I think they're going to trade baseballs. I see a few people over here to my right that have their hoods on, and that wind is not nearly as high as it was when we started. It's eased off to about 3 to 4 miles an hour, but there's just enough chill out there that makes you want to put one on, and that one caught him looking for out number 2. That's the first strikeout for Eli West. And here's Brooks Jones, the second baseman, still trying to get Glennon Harden in from second. West winds. And there's a little decoy down there at second. And that one hits the corner for strike 1. Bruins would have just at least a little jump start in their confidence if they could get Harden home. And he fires that fastball, and that one goes into the gap in left center field, and that is going to score one. He's not going to be able to get to second, but excellent job of going with the pitch by Brooks Jones. And so an RBI single, and he comes in, Harden does, and makes it a 2-1 game. And Logan Foster, the third baseman, batting in the ninth spot. That's the first hit of the game for the Bruins. And clutch 2-out hitting. And that one's high for a ball. Ball and no strikes. He gets on. We'll go back to the top of the order with Kurt Salmons. Logan's the fifth Bruin to hit in the inning. Fires that fastball, and that was tap foul. A ball and a strike. He's going about 70% fastballs today. He's just trying to see what he can blow by them. And here's the wind. And the pitch. And got it on the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Umpire said just on the inside corner, so it's a 1-2 count with 2 out and a runner on first. 1 run in so far in the inning. And West delivers. That one's just fouled off. Got a piece of it down on the end of that bat. So we'll rewind it again with another 1-2 count. Let's see if he can deliver and get the top of the order back up. Looks the runner back at first. And the pitch. And that one's fouled out of play. So still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Logan's been hanging tough. Taking his time before he gets his sign, and he steps off the rubber. Looks the runner back at first again. And the pitch. That one's fouled off in the same direction. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Logan is like the last 2 pitches he's seen, but he hasn't been able to get around in the right direction on them. And West delivers. And that one is a high fly ball. Center fielder's having to come in quickly and makes the catch for out number 3. But the Bruins picked up 1 run on 1 hit, and they had a hit batsman who came in to score on the single by Brooks Jones. No errors and 1 man left on base. We have completed 2, and the score is now Tipton Rosemark 2 and USJ nothing.
Buying a home is a major milestone, and at the Bank of Jackson, we want to help you achieve it. Our mortgage specialists can assist you with conventional, VA, FHA, or construction loans, as well as USDA and THDA development loans. Serving the Jackson area for 25 years. The Bank of Jackson, your down-home community bank. You belong here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dynamics Physical Therapy, your elite provider in sports medicine and performance. Now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Going to the top half of the 3rd inning, and Chase Gardner, who has had 5 strikeouts in the first 2 innings, will face Will Hughes, the shortstop, who hit a home run his first time up. Eli Ramsey, the center fielder, he doubled, and Cade Allen, the catcher, who started this string of strikeouts for Chase. Hughes got all of a pitch, and it was on a 2-2 count. He got it over the left field wall back in the first inning. And that one is in there for a strike. Bit of a delayed call, but no balls and a strike. And Gardner delivers, and that one's fouled off. So very quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. And I tell you, considering that he has had quite a strikeout arm in the first 2 innings, I know he'd love to be able to get Hughes the same way. And here's the pitch. And that one is tap fouled into the Bruin dugout. So still no balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, nobody out, and a 1-run lead for Tipton Rosemark. And here's the pitch. And that one is tap foul. He's a tough hitter because he is continuing to foul them off until he can potentially get one he likes. They got ahead of him, a ball and 2 strikes in the first inning, and went 2-2, and then that's when he smacked that one over the wall. And that one just missed for ball 1. Oh, my goodness, that was centimeters away from being in there for strike 3. And the 1-2 coming from Gardner. And struck him out. They'll fire on to first. And Maddox digs it out for out number 1. So once again, you score the put out, catcher to first base, but it is strikeout number 6 for Chase Gardner. And here's Eli Ramsey, who doubled and stole a base his first time up, but they left him on third. And he'll be followed by Cade Allen. And the pitch. And that's a big one back into the gap, and what a catch, a shoestring catch by Kurt Salmons out in left field. Those cleats slid quite a bit, but he managed to get his glove down and snag it for out number 2. And that brings up the catcher, Cade Allen, who is the first of the 6 Rebels who have struck out this afternoon. And Gardner is ready. And that one's going to the second baseman. It goes off his glove. He's got to hurry, and he's not going to be able to get him. So that's an error. That's an error on Brooks Jones. So the runner makes it to first. They've managed to get a runner on base in every inning so far. And here comes the pitcher, Eli West, who struck out his first time up. And here's the pitch. And that's high for a ball. So far, Gardner has scattered 3 hits. And the pitch. Fastball up high, 2 balls and no strikes. If West gets on, the designated hitter, Aiden Petrowski, would be next. And he fires, and that one is high for ball 3. So he's gone 3-0, and you just have to believe that West is going to be taking this pitch all the way. Chase fires right down the middle for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike, and you figure that West will get the green light on this one if it's one that he likes. And he delivers and fouls it back off to the screen, and it's full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out and a runner on first. And TRA leading it 2-1. Gardner's ready. Here's the payoff pitch. That is a high fly ball, and on the run, making the catch once again is Kurt Salmons for out number 3. So it was no runs on no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. So we continue after 2.5 with the score, TRA 2, USJ nothing.
The most important benefit when you buy from Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way? Peace of mind. Jones Chevrolet's warranty forever comes with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle. Powertrain coverage for as long as you own your vehicle. Find out more at Jones Chevrolet in Three-Way.
Home furnishings, appliances, bedding, and so much more. Kaufman's. At the Bypass and Oil Well Road in Jackson. Home furnishings for every room in your home. Custom upholstery options too, with professional advice. Major appliances from America's top name brands. Mattresses and bedding accessories. Outdoor living and grilling too. And our fully stocked warehouse helps prevent supply chain delays. Kaufman's, for your life.
So we go to the bottom half of the third. USJ still trailing 2-1, but we've got the top half of the order up with Kurt Salmons, who had those 2 spectacular fielding plays, a nice running catch to end the inning, and a diving shoestring catch. And he'll be followed by the Kilburns, Max and Nash. Kurt grounded out, second to first, his first time up. So far, Eli West has walked 1 and struck out 1. And he delivers to Kurt. And that one hit the outside corner for strike 1. He works very fast, and that one is low for ball 1. Once again, they're playing him pretty much straight away. Fires that fastball, and that one spins off the screen over to our left. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. You got to believe Kurt would tee off 1 if he sees one he likes here, and went around on it for strike 3. Second strikeout for Eli West. And that brings up Max the Athlete Kilburn. Max grounded out shortstop to first, his first time up, and Nash Kilburn will be immediately after him. And here's the wind and the pitch, and that one is going to be grounded to the shortstop. He can't hold on to it, and so he is going to make it to first base. They had a chance on it, but that was actually one that he just let get away from him, so that'll be an error on the shortstop. So the Bruins have another base runner. Nash Kilburn walked his first time up. Let's see if he can move Max around. That'll give Hondo Scott an opportunity to get up if they don't hit into a double play. That's outside, and that was really a pitch out because they were expecting Max to go, and he did not. Ball and no strikes. West taking his time on this one, and he fires the fastball. And 2 balls and no strikes. And again, West is working a lot slower in this inning. He looks back over at Max. And the pitch to Nash. And that one's fouled off to the left, out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. That bright sun is now in the outfielders' eyes across the board as it is beginning to move lower in the sky. And here's the wind and the pitch. That's outside for ball 3. Max bluffed a possible steal, but 3 balls and 1 strike. I don't really expect him to be going on this pitch. And here's the wind and the pitch. Outside, ball. No, he called that one. That looked like it was surely outside, and he said it hit the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and you heard some of the reactions from the USJ faithful to that call. So we're going full, 3-2, and here comes the payoff pitch. And that one's low, ball 4. And Max was already down to second base, so Nash walks for the second consecutive time. Here's Hondo Scott. He flied out to right field his first time up. Now he's got 2 runners on and only 1 out. Now, Max and Nash are a threat to try a double steal if they could get a pitch that they like. And here's the pitch. And that fastball is a bit low for ball 1. And unless they get a double play, then Clennon Harden would be next. We're in the bottom of the 3rd at Overton Stadium in Jackson, Tennessee. And that one is going to the shortstop. He flips it to second, goes to first, and he beat it out at first. That was a slow roller, and it was very hard to attempt a double play on that. So Nash goes down 6-4. It is a fielder's choice that puts Wyatt on first, and Max goes down to third. So runners on first and third with 2 outs now, and Clennon Harden, who was hit by a pitch in the previous inning. And time is called. He came in to score on Brooks Jones' single back in the 2nd inning. West delivers. The runner's going down to second, and it's tapped foul. There was no doubt whatsoever that Hondo was going to attempt to steal second. So you got Scott on first and Max Kilburn on third. And he faked the throw and goes back to first. Looked like he was going to go to third, and then he turned and fired to first, and Scott got back in. So we're still at no balls and 1 strike to Clennon Harden. The wind and the pitch. That one's fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. So let's see if Clennon can do some clutch 2-strike, 2-out hitting, because that's exactly what he's about to face from West. And here comes the 0-2 from Eli West. And almost hit him. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Narrowly missed, grazing him. And here comes the 1-2. And nope, not right now, because he's going to step out of there. As we say here in the 3rd, West has worked much slower than he did in the first 2 innings. Now he takes the wind and the stretch. That's high, ball 2. They've got the runners on second and third now. And here comes the 2-2 with 2 out. And got him looking on the inside corner for out number 3, and that is the third strikeout for Eli West. So for the Bruins, they did get a couple of base runners. It was no runs on no hits. They got 2 walks and one error in that inning, and they had 2 men left on base. So we have completed 3 innings of play from Overton. It is 2-1. TRA still on top.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Championship DNA. That's what you find at Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way. A full line of new Chevrolets plus West Tennessee's largest used car inventory. State-of-the-art service work and pre-approved auto loans online at JonesChevroletHumboldt.com. Shop with a winner. Jones Chevrolet at Three-Way.
Downtown is thriving and the Blacksmith Restaurant is leading the pack. From the rustic dining room to the unmatched patio, eating local with family is what we're about. Live local, eat local, relax local.
Going to the top half of the fourth, I'm looking over at our camera operator, Eric Inman. It looks as though he is actually feeling a little chilly now because that wind is beginning to kick up once again. And I saw him shake just a little bit as if there was a chill, and he's trying not to admit it over here. Leading off in the fourth is Aiden Petrowski, the designated hitter. He struck out his first time up against Chase Gardner and went around on that one for strike 1. Chase has struck out 6 in the game, and he has walked only 1. We've been at it an hour at Overton, and that one is going to be a high bouncer over to the shortstop. Long throw and the stretch on the first, and they got him. Excellent stretch by Maddox Rabin. I heard some people in our press box say that hurt me when they saw Maddox stretch that far. I'm not sure how many of us are capable of doing that at our ages now. I can sincerely admit to you I couldn't. But all the Bruins fans are glad that Maddox could. It's Sam Cannon, the first baseman, up, and he struck out his first time up. One of the 6 who have fanned against Chase Gardner. And he fires, good fastball, and that one in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And 1 out. And the wind of the pitch. High fly ball. Center fielder running in fast and gets under it. One-hands it. Hondo manages to snag it after running about a half mile. And that's out number 2, and that brings up the $500,000 man, Jordan DiBiase, the second baseman. That's outside for a ball. For some people, they say that shows my age because I very well remember, even before Ted DiBiase was the $1 million man in the World Wrestling Federation, he wrestled for Ted Turner a while. Ball and a strike. And the pitch. And that one gets away from the catcher, but it was in there for strike 2. So it could be a 1-2-3 inning if he can set him down here. And the wind of the pitch. And got him looking. 7th strikeout for Chase Gardner for out number 3. Got him 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. And the Rebels still lead the Bruins 2-1 after 3.5.
This could be a true story. On October 3rd, a 2003 hatchback struck and killed a deer that goes by the name Buck. I know, right? He now has Buck's head proudly displayed on his living room wall. He tells a different story.
Shot it.
No, he didn't.
And to hide his lie, he took his car to Mitchell's Body Shop.
No, I didn't.
Yes, he did. And lucky for him, they made it look good as new. And as for Buck, the story continues.
Do you want your smile to say it all? At Elite Dental Care, we'll make you and your family feel comfortable and secure with a variety of services and state-of-the-art care. We offer sedation dentistry that will make your time in the dental chair comfortable and relaxed. Come by and see our newly renovated and expanded office in Jackson or one of our other convenient locations in Trenton or Dyersburg. Trust your smile with Elite Dental Care and let your smile say it all.
We're halfway through, and now we're going to the bottom half of the 4th. Bruins still trailing 2-1, and they will send Jackson Sills, Maddox Rabin, and Brooks Jones to the plate here in the 4th. Now, remind you again that at 7 o'clock tonight, you can go to the USJ website and see live the Pops concert. That is always one of the real treats here, and I know you will enjoy it greatly. Jackson Sills grounded out, went pitcher to first base, his first time up. And the pitch. And that one goes in the gap between first and second base into right field for a base hit. So Jackson went right with the pitch and landed on first. And here is Maddox Rabin, the first baseman, who had that enormous stretch on one of the putouts in the top half of the 4th. He struck out, looked at a third strike, his first time up back in the 2nd. Now let's see if Maddox can move Sills around. And that one hits the corner. No balls and a strike. Maddox right down on the end of that bat. And he is taking it 0-2. Tipton Rosemark, 2 runs on 3 hits and an error. USJ, 1 run on 2 hits and an error. And here comes the 0-2 to Maddox. And it was a fastball, and he fouled it back. So we're still no balls and 2 strikes. Brooks Jones will be next, the second baseman. He drove in the only run that the Bruins have had this afternoon. The wind and the pitch. And that one is going up the middle, and he's going to step on the bag and fire it on to first for a double play. So it was 6-4-3 on the double play, and that snuffs out that threat. Brooks singled in Clennon Harden with the only run for the Bruins so far. If he can get on, then the third baseman Logan Foster would follow him. That's the first double play of the afternoon. There's that fastball, and that one went a little high. No, they say he was in there in the corner for strike 1. The wind and the pitch. That one's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he fires. Fastball once again, and that's a tapper back to the pitcher. Turns and fires and gets him for out number 3. Good fielding pitcher is West. And so for the Bruins, they got a man on with a hit, and then they lost him with a double play. It was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. So at the end of 4 innings of play, it is still Tipton Rosemark 2, USJ 1.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Well, after giving up that home run early in the first inning, Chase Gardner has settled down, struck out 7, and his only walk was to the first hitter of the game, Trey Scott, who came in on that home run by Will Hughes. So we go to the top half of the 5th, and Ellis Fullen, the third baseman, stands in. He singled his first time up, but was not able to come in. And hit the corner. No balls and a strike. We'll go back up to the top of the order after him with Trace Scott, the right fielder, and Will Hughes, the shortstop. And he got him a go around on that one, and it is no balls and 2 strikes. We had a 6 strikeout game earlier in which Chase came out early. That one's just tapped away. Chase came out of it early, but he is right on target to top that this afternoon. And the 2-strike pitch. Got him. Sinker worked well, and so Fullen strikes out. 8th strikeout now for Chase Gardner, and here comes the left-handed hitting Trace Scott, the right fielder. This one, and that's in there for a strike. This one's moved right along. We've been at it an hour and 10 minutes and already in the 5th inning. And here's the pitch. And that sinker was right on the corner for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. And Gardner delivers the 0-2. Struck him out looking. That is the 9th strikeout for Chase Gardner. He has had his K pitch this afternoon. And here's Will Hughes, the shortstop, who hit that home run in the first inning but struck out in the last inning. And once again, it's in there for a strike. No balls and a strike. 2 out. And Chase fires. That one's fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Hughes' home run went over the left field wall, and there was just enough wind blowing in that direction that helped it go out. It just kept going and going, and Kurt Sammons could not catch up to it. That one was very close, just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the wind and the pitch. And he got him. He's going to fire on to first. And got him easily, and that struck out the side. So strikeout number 10 for Chase Gardner, and the putout is catcher to first baseman. Once again, no runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. It was 3 up and 3 down, and they were all strikeouts. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. It's time for some Bruin offense. They trail 2-1.
Tired of going to the dealerships only to see empty spaces? Then come to Carlock Nissan of Jackson. We have over 60 new vehicles in stock and more coming in daily. You can see, feel, and of course smell that new car smell. Save up to $8,600 off MSRP on a new Nissan. Plus, special APR financing as low as 1.9%. It's all at Carlock Nissan of Jackson. You should already be here.
Mention Ball Game Blitz Sports Network and receive a free gift.
Logan Foster about to stand in as the Bruins bat in the bottom half of the 5th. They scored their run back in the 2nd on an RBI single by Brooks Jones. And you talk about a masterpiece after giving up 2 hits in the first inning, one of them a home run. Chase Gardner has struck out 10, and it would be a shame if he didn't come away with a victory this afternoon with that kind of pitching that he has done with 10 strikeouts. Logan Foster flied out to center field his first time up. But this guy West has been a terrific pitcher himself, and that one goes over the fence for strike 1. Logan will be followed by Kurt Sammons and Max Kilburn. There comes the fastball, and just enough outside, so it's no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. And that one is over the pitcher's head. It's going to be a hard ball to stop, and he decided better. We're going to give him an infield hit on that. Second baseman DiBiase decided better of trying to throw an off-balance one to first base. So the Bruins now have a runner at first with nobody out, and here is Kurt Sammons. He has grounded out and struck out. 2 strikeouts in the game for Eli West. Runner faded a bit, and then he bluffed and feinted and went back to first, and that one's outside for a ball. This has been an excellent pitching duel this afternoon. The wind and faked a bunt. Got to hurry back in there and did make it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kurt showed bunt on that one, and catcher Cade Allen fired fast to first, but fortunately Foster made it back in. Here comes the pitch to Sammons. That's high. 2 balls and a strike. Got some shadows here on the infield, getting close to the pitcher's mound. And that's a high fly ball going into left field. Left fielder under it and takes it for out number 1. And that will bring up Max Kilburn. He grounded out in the first inning, and in the third, he reached base on an error by the shortstop. And they got him over to third, but they could not get him in. Max batting right-handed. Let's see if he can do some damage here. And the pitch to Max. And that's in the corner for strike one. Max hitting .358 on the season. He's had 24 hits, 15 RBIs, and that one's in there again, so he's gone no balls and 2 strikes. Tell you, this West has really been hitting the corners, and he's got an excellent fastball. And here comes the 0-2, and that one's fouled off. Right fielder gives a little bit of chase, but it was far out of his reach. It's 3:20 down the lines here at Overton Stadium. And 365 to center field. Fires that fastball, and he went around and struck him out. So that's strikeout number 3 for West, and here comes Nash Kilburn. Nash walked his first time up. He's walked actually both his times up today, so he doesn't have an official at bat. Tell you, he's a nightmare on pitchers because of the fact that he can just wear you out. And that one is low for ball 1. They've got Logan Foster on first. He got there with a single to open the inning. And the pitch, and that one is going to roll to the second baseman just off the infield and fires it on to first for out number 3. Well, it was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So we continue on, and it seems like it's been this same score forever, and it has been since the second inning. It's still TRA 2, USJ 1.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Carlac Prestige is not your typical used car dealer. We have everything from a Porsche to this, and lots more. We inspect and repair all our vehicles. Ask us to prove it. We will.
Carlac Prestige, Van Drive, Jackson.
At Arrington Funeral Directors, we accept all prearranged funerals. So you may have prearranged your funeral in this town with another funeral home or even in another state, but we accept all prearranged funerals because we're here to serve families.
We go now to the top half of the 6th inning, still 2-1, and Gardner, who has been brilliant on the mound, he's only given 1 hit up since the first inning and 10 strikeouts on the afternoon with only 1 walk. And he faces Eli Ramsey, the center fielder, who doubled, and he has flied out to left field. And that one's a ball, 1 ball and no strike, a bit high. They're playing him straight away a little bit deeper than some of the other hitters. And that's why, because he lets one fly to right field, and that one is going to get over the right fielder's head. And he's firing it back in. Nash gets it back into the second baseman, so it is a double, and that's the second one this afternoon for Ramsey. And that's going to bring up Cade Allen, who has struck out and reached base on an error. So he's 0 for 2, but he is one of the 10 that have been fanned by Chase Gardner. And let's see if he can dig his way out of this one with a runner on second and nobody out. That is only the 4th hit for Tipton Rosemark this afternoon. And the pitch to Allen. In there for strike one. After he gave up that home run to the second hitter in the first inning, he has been brilliant. And looked like a bunt that's going to hit the top of our press box, give us a little percussion, and then roll off. No balls and a strike. They badly want to get him down to third. Let's see if Allen shows bunt again. And the pitch, high for ball one. Two runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Rebels. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error for the Bruins. Gardner delivers. And got him looking for his 11th strikeout. Eli West, the pitcher, stands in. West struck out in the first inning, flied out to left field in the third. And he holds the lead in this game 2-1, trying to help his own cause. And is that on the inside corner? No. 1 ball, no strikes. Designated hitter Aiden Petrowski would be next. This would be a big one for Gardner to get out. That one's right down in there for strike one. 1-1 count, runner on second, and 1 out. West steps out of the batter's box. He has struck out 3, but he's done some really excellent clutch pitching, and the runner thought about going. Now they're going to see if they can get him, and they threw it into the outfield. They're firing it to home, and it's not going to be there. Well, it was a good piece of base running, and the throwing error allowed him to move to third, and then it got away, and he came on in home, and so that could be a big run late here in the game as he advances all the way in on the error. They potentially would have had him in a rundown, but it was not to be, and so he scores the 3rd run. 3 runs now and 4 hits for Tipton Rosemark, and West with a 1-1 count. And the pitch. That's in there, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, that gives West another insurance run here in the 6th. That's the first run we've had scored since the 2nd inning. And they asked for help from the first base umpire, and he said no, he did not go around. And here's the pitch. And that one's a roller to the shortstop. He's going to fire long to first, and they get him. Good job of the long throw by Clennon Harden to Maddox Raven. Maddox has had to do some calisthenics out there on the base path today to get some of these runners, and he's done a great job of it. And that brings up Aiden Petrowski, the designated hitter. He struck out in the first and grounded out in the 4th. Ball and no strikes. The wind and the 1-0. And that one is going to drop into right center field for a base hit. So that's the 5th hit of the game for Tipton Rosemark, and here comes Sam Cannon, the first baseman. He struck out in the second and flied out to center field in the fourth. So they've got a runner on again with 2 out. Gardner trying to settle down, and that one just missed the corner. Ball and no strikes. Hondo Scott, Clennon Harden, Jackson Sills due up for the Bruins in the 6th. That one's in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner lurking down at first. And the 1-2 to Cannon. Runner goes, and that's fouled back to the screen. So we'll spin the wheel again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And they'll trade baseballs. And Petrowski trots back to first. And here we go with the 1-2. And he swung and missed for strikeout number 12 for Chase Gardner. So it was a costly inning. There was a throwing error, and so it was 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. So we go to the bottom half of the 6th. It is the Rebels 3, the Bruins 1.
Fleet Feet, your locally owned source for the best shoes for school, work, running, and everyday comfort. They offer a 3D scan of your feet and professional fitting. Fleet Feet sells the top-selling brands Hoka, OnCloud, and Brooks. To add comfort to your spikes or other performance shoes, let Fleet Feet fit you for a pair of arch support inserts. Get the quality you want and the service you deserve at Fleet Feet in Jackson on Oil Well Road beside Walgreens.
At Dynamics Physical Therapy, we help our clients get back to doing what they love. Dynamics is now serving communities throughout West Tennessee.
Hondo Scott is going to step in. He flied out in the first inning, reached base on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, and stole a base. Officially 0 for 2. And the pitch, outside for a ball. Eli West has scattered 3 hits. He has struck out 3. He's walked 2, and that one gets away. 2 balls. Clennon Harden and Jackson Sills would be next. Get to this point, you really want to get that leadoff hitter on, trailing by 2. And that one missed, and it's 3 balls and no strikes, so he'll be taking this pitch all the way. And that's on the corner. You knew he was going to go for the fastball. 3 balls and a strike. And he swung at one in the same spot. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hondo, whose nickname was for the great John Hondo Havlicek of the Boston Celtics, one of the legends of the NBA. Somebody else that is way too young for our director, Christopher Reasons, to have any knowledge of whatsoever. And here you go. And that one called him out on strikes. I think he thought it was inside. 4th strikeout now for West. Here's Clennon Harden. He had a single back in the second inning, and he struck out in the fourth. Ball and no strikes. Bruins want to get some base runners on here and not have to wait for heroics in the seventh. And that one is a tapper. It's going to be a tough play. He's going to fire on to first, and they dropped it. So Clennon Harden gets on for the second time. Here's Jackson Sills, the designated hitter. Hit into a double play back in the third inning when it looked as though they might be making a threat. Actually, it was in the fourth inning when he did that. Runner on first, one out. Ball and no strikes. That one just a bit low. And here comes the 1-0 from West. Fires that fastball, and he got around on it. Ball and a strike. Maddox Rabin, the first baseman, is on deck. As a matter of fact, he is not. I am seeing a pinch hitter. Aubrey Sellers is on deck as a possible pinch hitter. 1-1, 1 out, and 1 on. And the pitch. And he tapped it foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rebels lead it 3-1. And here comes the 1-2. Taking a lot of time, looking the runner back to first. And stepping out is Sills. The wind. And the pitch. And got him swinging. Strikeout number 5. And here comes Aubrey Sellers to pinch hit.
Now batting number 25, Aubrey Sellers.
So Sellers comes in to pinch hit here in the 6th with a runner on first. And if he gets on, Brooks Jones would be next. And let's see if Sellers can deliver a little power, but he has been a tough equation to solve, namely Eli West on the mound for Tipton Rosemark. And the pitch. That's inside for a ball. Now you got Clennon Harden still lurking down there at first after his base hit, but 2 are down. And they're going to come over and trade a baseball. And those shadows are beginning to be, you see those sun streaks that'll come through right there where the catcher is right now. And so he's pitching from the sun, and it can be tough on the hitter because he sees it starting one way with that sunlight, and then it comes into where the shadow is. And he delivers. And that one is low. 2 balls and no strikes. And pitch. And he went around on it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sellers pinch hitting for Maddox Rabin. And he fires, and he goes after that fastball again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 down. And we still have Clennon Harden down on first. And here goes West with the 2-2. And that one's fouled off way to the right. He could have straightened that out into deep right center field. That could have created a 3-2 game. Here's the wind. And once again, the 2-2. Fouled back. Temperature has fallen down to about 60 degrees now here at Overton Stadium. We started out at 62. Going to be another chilly night tonight, but we don't have a frost warning in the offing as we did last night. I didn't really see a lot of frost develop anywhere. And the pitch. And got him on the corner for out. Number 3, and that is the 6th strikeout. And it was no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. So we have completed 6 innings of play. And the score remains TRA 3, USJ 1.
Thompson & Smith, the area's premier independent insurance brokerage, has been serving families and businesses in the region through its founding companies since 1927. With their many insurance company partners, Thompson & Smith provides insurance products for family, home and auto, contractors, retailers, restaurants, manufacturers, medical and dental clinics, as well as any other business or organization seeking quality coverage, risk management expertise and customer-focused service. Call them today to discuss your insurance needs.
Are you looking to build a career? Build a career with West Tennessee's own H&M Company. H&M is a leading coast-to-coast industrial design and construction firm for Fortune 500 companies. Founded in Milan in 1957 and headquartered in Jackson, H&M is actively hiring in all areas of construction and engineering. Visit us at hmcompany.com to start building your career today.
Well, as we said, this has been an excellent pitching duel, but if you're a Bruin fan, you're not on the top end of it, as Tipton Rosemark leads it 3-1. But it has been a marvelous job on the mound by Chase Gardner, striking out 12 today. And he has scattered 5 hits. But his counterpart, Eli West, has only allowed 3. And there's a high fly foul, and trying to chase that one down, and that was out of range for Logan Foster. He flew over there trying to see if he could snag it, but it's just a long strike. Jordan DiBiase, the second baseman, has grounded out and struck out. And that was a nice change of pace, but it's a 1-1 count. And here's the 1-1 from Gardner. Outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Ellis Fullen and Trey Scott will follow in the order. And right down in there for strike 2, as we see the shadows getting a bit deeper on the infield. But this game has been played relatively swiftly. We've been at it an hour and 43 minutes. And there's a drive into right field, and what a nice diving catch by Nash Kilburn. Now, let me tell you, he's fast, but to make that dive and to keep that concentration was outstanding. So Nash took away at least a base hit and what might have been 2 if he hadn't been able to have snagged that one. And here comes Ellis Fullen, the third baseman, who has singled, and here goes Foster throwing hard, and they didn't get him. They're saying tag him, but I don't think anybody really knew. They thought he turned the wrong way, but he's back in at first. So Fullen is on first. It's his second time reaching base today, and here comes Trey Scott. It is his third time up. He walked and scored in the first inning, and he has struck out twice. And that one's way inside for a ball. And that is the third error of the afternoon on the Bruins. And runner was going, and that one is bunted foul out of play. And Will Hughes, who hit the home run back in the first inning, that is really the difference in this game. He is scheduled after Scott. And that was a hard hit foul that is sliced out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I'm looking over here and seeing someone with a University of Alabama blanket, completely covered, teeth chattering over to our right. And that one is a ground ball to Maddox Rabin, and he is going to run over and tag the bag himself. And that is out number 2. 3 unassisted. The runner moves down to second on the fielder's choice. And that brings up Will Hughes, the shortstop, who hit the home run, 2-run homer in the first inning and then has struck out twice. Runner taking a big lead down at second. That's a ball. Well, I know Gardner wants desperately to get Hughes here so that you can keep it to a 3-1 game. Looks back the runner and the pitch. And that's in there for a strike, a ball and a strike. TRA on top of it, 3 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. The Bruins 1 run, 4 hits, and 3 errors. And the pitch. Inside, ball 2. Gardner has been so tough on these hitters today, 12 strikeouts. 4 of them have been called strikeouts. And the pitch. And that one's outside, 3 balls and a strike. Does not want to give up another base runner because he'll be facing a guy who has had 2 doubles today against him. The 3-1 and the pitch. And that's a high fly ball, not going to go deep enough. And Hondo Scott underneath it for out number 3. So it was no runs on no hits and 1 error and 1 man left on base. So we've got a go get 'em Bruins. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. It is Tipton Rosemark 3, USJ 1.
Turn to the experts. Since 1955, Garrett Plumbing and Heating has been the leader in plumbing, heating, and air conditioning service and installation for West Tennessee. A proud supporter of USJ Bruin Athletics, we are your local Carrier Factory authorized dealer. Call Garrett Plumbing and Heating 668-3339 for all of your plumbing, heating, and air needs.
For anyone contemplating pre-planning, we can tell you from our experience, it's much easier to make funeral plans and record them now than wait until emotions are running at their highest.
With pre-planning, you can free your mind and heart from having to make big decisions during a time of grief and instead enjoy the freedom to focus on the memories of a life well lived.
So this is the last opportunity for the Bruins, trailing 3-1. Brooks Jones will be up. He has singled the only run home that the Bruins had back in the second inning. He grounded out in the fourth. And Logan Foster would follow, and then Kurt Sammons. So this is where it has to happen for USJ. There's no more space in this contest. And West, and that one's a hard hit ball that's going into center field for a base hit. So Brooks, with his second hit of the afternoon, gets something going. Hit that first pitch sharply. There was no way that West was going to be able to knock that one down. And here comes Logan Foster, the third baseman. He flied out in the second, and he had a base hit, but couldn't get home in the fifth. Runner on first, nobody out. And that's a strike. No balls and a strike. Hit the corner. He's looking the runner back at first. And West delivers. And almost hit him. The runner's going to advance. So that one, we're going to score that one a wild pitch. So he moves down to second on the wild pitch and gets a runner in scoring position, a 1-1 count, and nobody out. Well, let's see what Logan can deliver here with Brooks Jones down at second. The pitch, and that's a slow tap. The third baseman, runner's going to go down to third, and they get him at first. Got the long throw, but on the fielder's choice, Jones moves over to third, and here comes Kurt Sammons. Kurt 0 for 3 today. He has grounded out, he struck out in the third, and flied out to left field in the fifth. So his fourth opportunity up. 3-1, and a runner 90 feet away down at third. And here's the pitch, and that one's going up the middle, and the shortstop's going to try to get it at first, and they got him. And you might have heard a lot of groans go up right there, but he did bring the run home. That was a long throw, but he did get the RBI on that one. But there's 2 down for Max Kilburn. It's a 3-2 game, but Max has got to get on. And West has been tough in getting those ground balls this afternoon. That one's fouled, sliced out of play. About 25 feet over there beyond the grill. No balls and a strike. And Max is the last hope for the Bruins unless he gets on. Outside, ball 1. There's one thing about West today. He has not been too outside, hasn't had a lot of wildness at all. He has really been around the corners, had a good fastball. And he wants a new baseball. So he got 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on. A run is in to make it a 3-2 game. His brother Nash Kilburn would be next. And here comes the 1-1 from West. And that one's tap foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Got to do everything Max can to get on and give Nash an opportunity to try to tie the game. But we'll see what happens on this next pitch from Eli West. And here it comes. And it's a high fly ball, and West is right under it, takes it for out number 3. So the pop-up ends the opportunity for the Bruins, and it was an outstanding pitching duel. And your final score is Tipton Rosemark 3, USJ 2. We'll be back with the totals right after this.
King Jewelers is not your typical run-of-the-mill jewelry store. Grover is a certified jeweler with 35 years experience. This isn't just a jewelry store. It's an iconic symbol of love. How far would you go for love? King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, Jackson.
Ready for spring cleaning? Don't forget your HVAC system. Somebody needs to clean out all that dust and grime, and that somebody is us. Let McCoy's Heating and Air professionally clean your system so cool air can flow where it needs to go. Schedule now and you can get your cleaning for only $90. Call McCoy's Heating and Air at 731-668-7492 or visit airmccoy.com. McCoy's Heating and Air, Jackson's most trusted team of technicians.
Well, the Bruins gave it a real run, and it looked as though in the 7th they might have something brewing, but there just was not enough there against this tough pitching of Eli West, and that is not to take anything away from the great pitching of Chase Gardner, who scattered 5 hits in the game and struck out 12. I mean, he had his fastball moving, and out of those 12, 4 of them were called strikeouts. But tremendous fastball pitching today on the part of Eli West. Didn't rely on his curveball that much and ended up striking out 6 Bruins and prevailed 3-2 in one of those that you just, you hated to see one team not be able to carry it home, but that's what happened today. And we'll give you some of the highlights, though, for the Bruins. You had Clennon Harden was 2 for 3, and he singled in one of the 2 runs that the Bruins had. Brooks Jones was 2 for 3 on the afternoon. He had 2 singles. And so it was just one of those games that they just could not get enough offense, particularly in clutch situations, and bring in some runners when they got them on base frequently enough. They had a threat again in the 4th inning, and they hit into a double play when they had a runner on with nobody out and managed to go 3 up, 3 down at that point. So it ends up being 3 runs and 5 hits and 1 error for Tipton Rosemark, and for USJ, it ends up being 2 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors. And the winning pitcher is Eli West, and he went all the way. Both pitchers went all the way today. Eli West ended up striking out 6 Bruins, and he only walked 1 in the game. And the other way around, the losing pitcher, and it's a sad state that it happened to be that way because of how many strikeouts he had, but the losing pitcher was Chase Gardner, striking out 12, and the only walk that he gave up was the very first hitter of the game, Trey Scott, who got on, and then Will Hughes, with Scott on base, managed to power one over the left field wall. And that, frankly, was the game right there until the end when USJ managed to get their 2nd run. But that gave a 2-0 lead, and the Bruins never could get back into a tie in this game. And it's a shame for, again, Chase Gardner, because it was a hard-luck afternoon for him with the 12 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and did everything that he could from his part. So it ends up being Tipton Rosemark 3, and it is USJ 2. We'll be back with you again on Thursday. Dave McCulley, my colleague, will be bringing you USJ girls softball here, and I'll look forward to all of you being with Dave, and I know he'll do a terrific job on that contest. So, the executive producer of Ball Game Blitz Sports Network and Worthy Road Studios is Paul Schultze. Tonight's game was produced by Stephanie Janda, and on camera was Eric Inman, and our ever-cool, ever-present director was Christopher Reasons. I'm Steve Beverly until we're back with you again. And remember, 7 o'clock coming up right away now. Right now, go over to Elsewhere on the USJ website, and you can see the Pops concert that'll be very entertaining for you this evening. See it live right here. And so until we're with you again on Thursday, this is Steve Beverly saying so long from the great hub city of West Tennessee.
The Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios. With over 750,000 views in 2022, we are where you need to advertise. Please subscribe to our Worthy Road Studios YouTube channel and join the other 4,000 subscribers watching local sports, including Union University, USJ, TCA, Jackson Christian, and Peabody. Our multi-camera broadcasts include slow motion instant replay, on-screen scoreboard and graphics, and professional announcers. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible. Ball Game Blitz Sports Network by Worthy Road Studios, the premier sports broadcast network in West Tennessee.